Pathmonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments through the relevant micro experiences, such as case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmonk to your website in seconds. Let the artificial intelligence do all the work. Get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sell as usual. Check us out on pathmonk.com. On today's episode of Pathmonk Presents, I've got a very special guest with me joining today. Please welcome Mikkel, who is the Director of Revenue Operations for Delogue. So Mikkel is your seasoned sales and marketing professional with years of experience in the industry, and he's your go-to for anything that you need. Now, for all of you who don't know, Delogue is an empowering collaboration and transparency platform, and they keep track of every stage of your product development for you. Mikkel, thank you so much for joining us today. It's an honor to have you on our show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and love what you guys are doing. So super excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here, and thank you so much. So for all of our users out there in our audience, tell us, what does your company do overall?
Well, we like to think of ourselves as a company who strives for helping product development teams making better decisions, and doing that through collaboration, better data, that's in the gist of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I love how it's, I can clearly see especially what you guys are doing as well within the market. So as for your clients, I know that the platform is mainly for within the fashion industry, as for what I was reading, not only on LinkedIn and as well as on your company's website, but are there any other clients or industries that you cater to as well?
Well, we work mostly within the fashion, apparel, and lifestyle. So anything product development related within that space, and that could be small niche brands, but it could also be very, very big fashion apparel brands. So anything in there between. But we come from fashion, and we live fashion. We breathe fashion. Everyone in the company, it's founded by people from the industry. So that's really where our strongest suit is.
Yeah, definitely. So with your clients, how do they typically find you? Because with the industry that you focus on, it's very it's more community based. It's who you know. So how do your clients find you? Would you say it's more word of mouth? Is it referrals? Is it digital marketing? Or is it a mix of a lot of things currently?
It's actually a super good question, because once I entered this industry, it felt like being part of the club. Yeah. And it's this fashion industry has always been this way. It's like the cool kids club that everyone wants to be a part of. And I think that there's a lot of that in it. There's a lot of who and if you speak at these fairs, there's the Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, Copenhagen Fashion Week as well, which is growing immensely, and it's very much about being present at these events. So I think that's still something that this industry works in, and it's still something that we focus on. So these physical events, but also we do a lot of thought leadership. We've been, really having success with taking a leadership position in the ESG compliance space, and with the EU legislation that is coming with the digital product passport and a lot of these things that brands need to think about. And there we've seen that a lot of brands they're at a loss. They don't know what to do, and it's being explained from a very political viewpoint, which is super difficult for regular people like you and me and the brands out there to understand. So we try to take experts who are really good at communicating, this heavy subject and actually communicating it to something that the everyday person working can understand. And I think that that's also something that has fueled our lead generation and our the word of mouth and the brand awareness that we have at the moment. So so it's we do a lot of things to get back to your question, and it's a mix of outbound, inbound, word of mouth. We do ads, we do online, offline. It's really a mix of things, but based on we have a very, very clear ICP. We know exactly who we want to target and who in those companies that we want to target.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really loved how you also highlight too, with a lot of the changes within like the EU law, there's a lot of work on the back end that has to be done, especially with you guys, with where you position yourselves in the market, following the legislations, especially not only within the EU, but also it goes down to the country as well. So I think it's great where with having the in-house expert, as you were elaborating, to be able to bring these ideas and products to life for your clients and ultimately solving their issues. So it's great overall what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and thanks. And it's really for us, it's about sharing knowledge. We really, really, are adamant about that. If we can all collaborate, and that's, with our competitors as well, if we can make the industry better as a whole, then we've succeeded.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's about sharing the knowledge and ultimately the brands out there, they're going to choose the solution that's best for them. So all we can do is try to help them in the best way possible.
Yeah, definitely. And I love how you put emphasis on, educating, especially within, this community, how it's very tight knit. The more you're able to educate and help those around you, it will lead to more fruitful outcomes at the end of the day.
Exactly. As I'm always saying, that always be closing is dead. It's always be helping now.
Exactly. You summed it up perfectly. So now we're going to switch gears here and we're going to talk about you as a leader. So give us an insight onto how you said, the Pool Kids Club. So what do you do?
Well, I recently changed or shifted positions within Delogue. I was
congratulations on the new.
Thank you. Thank you. I was in charge of demand generation before, and now shifting towards a more broad commercial role as director of revenue operations. So that means everything revenue related, and that's in an effort to try to tie together a lot more of the commercial activities that we have and try to create a seamless customer journey for our customers, both the potential ones and the existing ones. And we want to try to remove as much friction as we can from any experience that a potential or existing customer has with us. And that that would be my task to head that up.
Wow, that's really great. That seems like a lot, especially too with, it sounds like getting very granular and like really seeing into like the deep weeds of it as well.
It is. And from my point of view, it's really about, because I'm not going to be part of each of, our marketing, our sales, our customer success, but I will be underneath everything or on top of everything and really enabling them to do their best work. And that's really, my focus is how can I enable others to do what they do best, which is basically the philosophy that we have as a company as well towards our customers, is that we want to provide them a tool that that enables them to do what they do best, which is design and develop great fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. And it translates not only from the product, but to the rest of the company as well. Like as you're explaining more
Exactly, yeah.
the core values, you guys are very not only transparent, but ultimately you want the best for your clients and building those lasting relationships as well within this industry. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So now, if there were no boundaries in technology, what would be the one thing that you would want to have fixed in your role today?
That's a good question. I would say that a lot of time is actually spent looking for something. So and still with with AI and everything, we still find ourselves looking for solutions, looking for answers, looking for processes, looking for all these things. And I think that if at some point when the search engines, both internal and external, so that could be web based, but also knowledge within the company itself, when that merges with AI at some point, and you actually have a chat bot of some sort that can help you find that information, not only what is web based, but also what is internally based. I think that would cut a lot of time, not just for me, but for anyone out there. I think that we find ourselves really wasting a lot of time in repeating something that we've done before, but we can't quite remember how we did it or why we did it. And so a way of scaling and repeating processes is really something that I strive to, and that it's something that's going to be super important in the role that I have in how can we scale this company.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you summed it up where, we're constantly looking for solutions, especially too with where we have it with AI, where, it all comes down to as well, how can I work smarter with the tools that I have to make my life easy and help me with what I need to get done. And I'm in the same boat. This is something that I, struggle with on a day-to-day basis where I'm like, how can I use these tools to my advantage overall?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're at the end of our interview today, and I want to thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. But I also want to give you the last word. If anyone were to forget about everything we've talked about today, what is the one thing you want them to remember about Delogue overall?
I think that's a really good question. I would say that the one thing that you should remember about Delogue is that we help make better decisions. And we do this, in a lot of ways, but the final thing is really that we want to enable everyone to be better, to do better, both for their company, for us, for the world.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. And I love how you summed it up as well. So for all of our listeners out there, for any of your needs to help with better decisions for your boutiques, e-commerce platforms, you know where to find Mikkel and his team at Delogue. Thank you again so much for joining us. It was our pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. And for all of our listeners out there, check us out next week on Pathmonk Presents.